Hi, my name is Winnie Suliong. I'm the head of marketing and student recruitment of Sp Jain, School of Global Management. So we are here to offer you 4 programs, basically 2 in undergrad, which is the BBA and BDS. BBA, Business Business Administration, as well as Data Science. And for PG, we offer you the MGB, the Masters of Global Business, as well as the Global MBA. So these are the 4 programs that you may be interested in. One very strong, I would say our strength would be that students who are supposed to spend their journeys in 3 different cities, 3 different countries, which are namely Dubai, Singapore, and Sydney. And the other thing that really stands out is our student pass, which allows students to work in Singapore, and that means equivalent to about 16 hours per week during school term, as well as 40 hours during school break. So these are the 2 very strong difference between us and the regular PI. And on top of that, I think we would like to stress that we are an Australian school. It's just that we have campuses in 4 cities in Singapore, in the world. And so as a result, you do graduate with an Australian certificate. What's unique in Sp Jain is that, first of all, we do have a team in the corporate relations who are in touch with companies. They will sign MOUs with them, so we can send interns to their companies. So there will be opportunities, and as well as full-time opportunities that's been sussed out by the corporate relations. And as a result, this will actually be passed on to the students. And some of the companies that perhaps I'll probably talk a little bit more about full-time opportunities. Students do end up in big companies like Google, Tata Communications, etc., or even small companies, startups in Singapore, and other places. So I think it depends on your career goals. What exactly you want to do, what is your appetite, what's your profile like, and our colleagues may have such opportunities for you. However, I do stress that they also do invite alumni as well as leaders, industry leaders, to come over to our school to talk about their industry experience, and this is a good time to network with these leaders. So you put your face in front of the employers, so you might end up with an internship or an opportunity to talk about working for the company. And part of the PG curriculum is the Passport to Excellence, where the students are actually prepared with certain interviewing skills, etc., and CVs. So that is also helpful in securing your a job in the future. Well, all applicants will be assessed, particularly during the interview stage. So that's really important. Every stage that you go through, whether it's your application form, the details that you provide us, which may be merit-based, like your academic, your year 10 to 12, your bachelor degree grades, etc. This contributes points towards the amount of scholarship that you get. So there aren't any, at this point in time, there aren't any special scholarships in terms of, is it for women, is it for diversity, etc. But just remember that it is merit-based, and be prepared for the interview. And so the interview, like I mentioned earlier, the admissions will very much be about you, whereas for the faculty interview, that will be a little bit about what specialization you are going into. So with that, a combination that will actually drive up your scholarship value. The thing is, I've seen in the past, I've seen 0 scholarship to 50%, to about 70%, to 80%. So that really depends on the candidate. So I wish you good luck with your application, and talk to Hirin and the staff here at Shinseki, so they could help you to achieve the scholarship that you want. But I think most importantly for both of us to help you with your application to be successful, we need you to be as open as possible to let us know what your strength, your weaknesses, your issues, your concerns, so we could actually look for a solution for you. The undergrad, let's start off with that. Number one, the admissions requirements are IELTS of 6.5 with no band lower than 5.5, or if you're an SAT, if you have SAT 1250, then you may be exempted from part of the Sp Jain대학, which is the online admissions aptitude test. So otherwise you will have to complete that, and then if you successfully complete that, then you'll be invited to an interview. So there will only be one interview with the head of admissions. However, with the PG, postgraduate, slightly different. So you will need an IELTS of 6.5. And if you do have a GMAT or GRE, we need that equivalent of 650. If not, don't worry, we do have Sp Jain대학, our own in-house aptitude test, which you can sit for. And that, after completion, successful completion, you will then be invited to 2 interviews, starting with either the head of admissions or a faculty. So that's the admissions process in a nutshell. However, I think I'd like to share a little bit about the admissions tips. And whether you're a PG or an undergrad, I think there are a couple of things that you need to be aware of what we look for at the interview stage. And do prepare this prior to you attending the interview. Do think through what do we want to achieve during the interview would be number one. We'd like to know how proficient you are in your English. So that will be monitored, that will be assessed throughout the interview. And then the second thing that we really want to know is that who you are, what values you're going to bring to the class, to the cohort. Because we believe that in the class, you will not only learn from the professor, models, business models and techniques, etc. You will also be learning from your fellow classmates. So therefore, you should be able to contribute in the whole learning process. So number 3 is that from this, we like to also assess how Sp Jain can add value to you in terms of your goals at the end of graduation, which then for me, that will be 3 points. Number 1 is which industry do you want to go to? So if you're a bachelor, you're fresh, then think about what kind of jobs you want to be in, the functional role. What exactly is that? Are you going to be interested in marketing? Are you going to be going into purchasing role? And then the third one is think about where do you want to be? Is it back in Korea, or do you want to go to Singapore or any of our campus location? So with that will actually help you in building your essays in your application as well as throughout the interview stage.